What's going on? How y'all doing out there? What's up? This video gonna be about Ole Rob Schneider. He called Will Smith a liar, fraud, and he's still talking about Chris Rock. What do I think? Well, Rob Schneider is what we call a Q-list talent. You know, Deuce Bigelow, some of them corny movies that he did, which I watched on a slow night, you know. But let's be realistic. He ain't in Will Smith's weight class as a talent, but it's the typical white boy, Jew boy who, and I say this to say, because of his skin and his privilege, he can pop off and say stuff like that. And they look at Will as a field hand on the plantation. Now, what do I think about what he said? Right message, wrong messenger. That might shock some people to say that. I'm not going to sit here and listen. Will Smith doesn't owe black folks no apology or white people no apology. He owes the Lord an apology. And I say that because to assault somebody on TV, which was wrong. Now, I can't stand Chris Rock, and I know there's black folk who saying nobody's checking for Chris Rock because Chris Rock's known sellout and tap dancing, etc. However, the message you send by assaulting another black person speaks volumes, because that means that everything that has happened, you can do that viably and get away with it. We know black life don't have no meaning in America with 3Ks. We know the Hollywood plantation is just like the government, everything else in the country. And so when Will Smith did what he did, and I don't like Chris Rock personally, but I don't believe in assault black on black either. But it doesn't mean that, and the Hollywood plantation put him in Oscar jail for 10 years, and he had to do a slave movie, which Reynolds rap. Nobody cared about it. Because if he isn't shuffling and grinning and doing those action type of films or being smart aleck or, they ain't got no use for him. Will Smith then probably had what I call maybe 2.5 credible roles. King was the one that got the Oscar, which was a great performance. 6 Degrees Separation. And one of those, the one he did, Pursuit of Happiness, and then one with Zara Dawson. And about 3 or 4 movies I can give. But more often than not, and I like Hitch, romantic comedy was cool. But more often than not, a lot of his films are fluff, and they're not that memorable, and they just kind of come and go. And they've been selling him almost as a colorless soul in a lot of ways. And see, to assault somebody on TV and then to turn around and cry to get that token award, you can't serve two masters. Now, when I say right message, wrong messenger, Rob Schneider he's just a bitter old jive turkey. And he comes across like he's talking that some wigs have said. There have been people been talking. And Will has to walk that fine line on that plantation. Oh, believe me, if Will ever is so much sneezes funny or look cross-eyed, it's going to be surviving Will Smith. They got stuff on him. See, when I say what I say, it's nothing you can't call cap because it's twofold. They got stuff on him. They just waiting to see which way he go. And he's got to be on his best behavior for another decade if he doesn't want the plantation to flip on him, because they're ready to throw his business out there. And you're seeing a lot of the cracks. And it ain't as smooth as it once was. But again, the problem that you run into with this, the reason why is because, he did assault a black man. If he had assaulted a white dude on TV, let him give Jerry Seinfeld a 2-piece. See what happens. Let there have been anybody white, there would not have been the same. He was looking at some backlash behind Chris Rock, What happens if that's a white dude? That's the facts. But all of them in Hollywood lied to you. All of them be fake because they have to kiss the ring and kiss the oath to be successful. If you don't, if you ever come out and say something about the system, they will whiteball you. The money actors are making money, but they're not making the kind. And ain't too many been in Will Smith's. There is obviously a level of jealousy because let's keep it 100. He's one of the few, white or black, to have a long career. You talking about almost 40 years. If we combine music, TV, and film, a triple threat, and behind the scenes, but Overbrook Productions, etc. However, he has to toe the line. And he made an oath and he signed away a lot of his situation. So when Rob Schneider says what he says, he ain't lying, but he ain't the one to be saying it. There is truth to that. And we'll have to talk to his maker for his actions. That was assault, you know. And I don't care how anybody tried to sugarcoat it or sweeten it. And I don't like Chris Rock at all, but let's keep it 100. But when you do it black on black, no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to come out and say that was messed up from a black perspective, especially after in light of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Black Lives Matter, and et cetera, et cetera. And Will has been one of those brothers that kind of like spoke on some stuff, but he's also crossed over. So it's a fine line with how you balance things, And so that's something that you have to deal with. But anyway, please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you feel like I'm out. Peace.